Greetings, comic book friends. I have a short CGC magazines show here, I guess. It's not really an unboxing, as I've already unboxed them. Especially with magazines, I always have to make sure that I open those right away when possible, because CGC has a really bad problem with their magazine slabbing. I think it's something they really need to work on. You expect every once in a while that you'll get a slab and it's damaged in some way. The magazine slabs are particularly notorious for it. I have 5 books here. It was 6. I had to send one back. And there's another one in this stack I need to send back as well. These came in two separate shipments. I can't remember exactly why they were split, because I don't think they were 9.8 pre-screens on any of them. Maybe 2 of them were. Anyway, so I know that CBCS has announced that they are either now or very soon going to be offering magazine slabs. So I'm very curious to see the quality of theirs, because these CGC ones, they're just, I don't know. This is now, I think, the 4th damaged magazine slab that I've dealt with them. I think they're probably at about, and I haven't done a lot of magazine slabs to have 4 be damaged. I don't know. They're like at 10-15% rate of being damaged. That's pretty bad. Now, on the other hand, they are pretty good about getting them fixed. So you fill out a form, you basically place an order, and they pay for shipping. They will reslab it and send it back. You mark the box so that they'll get to it pretty quick. So they are pretty responsive in fixing those problems, but which is good. I appreciate that, but there shouldn't be as many as there are. So let's see what I've got. So the first one, this one I was pretty excited about, actually, because I didn't have anything like this slab before, and considering, I'm actually pretty happy with the grade that it got. This is one of the damaged ones. We can hear that piece rattling in there. So this is the first print of Yellow Dog #1. Yellow Dog, it was an indie quote unquote comic, but it's like a newspaper. It's very thin. I can't really see it because of the binding, but I mean it's basically 2 pages of newspaper, and it's folded in like newspaper. I have almost a full run of this. I have I think a second print of #1 to be able to read, and I'm missing maybe 1 or 2 issues in it overall. But just kind of a neat piece of comics history. Came out in 1968. It is kind of on the published as weekly as possible. Funny. It's just kind of that indie taste, like other sort of Crumb and other types of things at the time. But a 6.5, I'm pretty happy with, and considering like there's like smears of something on the back. There's a lot of bends and stuff. I pressed it as well as I could. So I'm pretty happy with a 6.5 on this, despite having to send it back to get reslabbed. There's a pretty good scuff mark on it too. The next one, I think this is the last of my Last Ronins. Last Ronin #1, or in this stack, I got one more here. Last Ronin #1 director's cut. It's not, valuable. It's basically a second print-ish, but it's the director's cut. But I really like this book. I have a number of Last Ronins that I sent in for grading just because I like the book so much. But I really like the sort of the raw sketch cover of the director's cut. So I went ahead and sent that in as well. But got a nice 9.8 on that. Another Last Ronin. This one is my favorite Last Ronin that I have anyway, and that is the Yak variant cover. This thing it's just such a beautiful image. It has, the Japanese rising sun behind it. Just a beautiful image of the Last Ronin. This was an exclusive from the Nerd store, but happy to get this back in the 9.8. This one I know I didn't send to pre-screen, not because I didn't think it would 9.8. It's just, if this came back a 9.6 or a 9.4, I would have been, I say okay with it. I would have been okay with it having it slabbed at a 9.6 or a 9.4 just because how much I love the book. But I was pretty sure it'd come back a 9.8, at least a 9.6. But it did get the 9.8. So really happy with this. I'm glad I gave it a once over. There was actually a tiny piece of tape that was on it when I got it. And I didn't press it. It didn't need to get pressed. But I did sort of clean the cover to make sure there were no fingerprints or anything on it, because this type of cover can very easily hold onto a fingerprint. And as I was doing this, I felt like something on there, like, what is this? And there was actually a little piece of tape on it. So good thing it didn't get sent in with that on it. But it came off easy because it was a shiny cover, so the tape came off real easy. But real happy with that book there. The next two are also turtle related, but they are older. I sent in my original first prints of TMNT issues 3 and 4. So my 4 got a 9.2. Pretty happy with that. Nothing significant in this issue other than it's the first print of number 4. It is the oversized magazine size. This art was reused for the 4th print of number 1, and when you see it in the color form that is on the 4th print of number 1, it's also the image that was used on the NES TMNT video game. So glad to see that come back in a pretty high grade, 9.2 for a book in 1985. Pretty okay with that. It was weird to see a book in 1985 cost $1.50 cover price. That's pretty insane for back then. And then the number 3 came back in 8.5. Also a grade I'm very, very happy with. This isn't the rare version of it that had like it's a first print, but it's not the first run of the first print, where I think that first run there was an issue with the printing that they fixed partway through the run. I think in that one, like the Laird's photo is in white. It was just some color. Some things were off in the color of the first run of the first print, and this isn't one of them, unfortunately. But it's still a number 3 first print, so super happy with it. And 8.5, again, in an early Turtles book. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So that was it. Just those 5. The one that I sent in, it was Last Ronin number 2 retailer incentive. It's a retailer incentive, so it's a little lower print run, but also the cover was really cool, so I sent that in. That one, it did get a 9.8, but the slab was damaged, so I have to resend it. And I'll have to resend this Yellow Dog as well. I'm less worried about sending the Yellow Dog. I'm always nervous sending in things that are 9.8s or higher, older books, like a 9.2 or an 8.5 of this, because there isn't a guarantee that it'll come back the same grade. They might actually downgrade it. If somewhere during the process of them cracking it open and handling it again, they look at it and they find something else that would make it lower, they will lower the grade if they feel the book is actually that lower grade now, which is unfortunate. So I don't think that happens very often, but it is possible. I know, for example, there is a local shop here that has a Spider-Man 1 Silver Edition that's a 9.9. and its case is broken. Man, what do you do? What do you do with that? Do you risk sending it in to get it re-slabbed and them saying, you know what, this actually isn't a 9.9 and you get a 9.8? Or do you retain the broken slab and have the 9.9? That's a tough one. I'm glad I'm not in their position. If it wasn't a broken slab, that might be something I would actually be considered. I would consider buying, because I think that's a 9.9 in that book would be super cool. But what a risk! What a risk! Anyway, that's it. Just a little bit about. I mean, just one, to show these books that came in, and two, talk a little bit about magazine slabs in general. I am real curious to see how CBCS's take on the mag slab goes. Unfortunately, I don't really have any other magazines to send in right now to kind of test it out. All the magazines that I've wanted to have slabbed, I've had slabbed at this point. So I don't know. I'm excited for a customer to come with me and have a magazine to slab and then want to do CBCS so I can kind of see it. And as soon as that happens, I want to be able to show you all. But we'll see. But let me know your thoughts on magazine slabs. Thoughts on what your luck has been on them being damaged when they come in, and also getting those things fixed. I'm curious to know what your experiences out there have been. But that is it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and of course, don't forget to make yours Titan. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.